So you may know that we live in California, and one of the hot button issues out here is Proposition 8. There's plenty of people deciding what types of people should be allowed to marry, and there's plenty of other types of people who are trying to figure out who should not be allowed to marry.
Basically, we're wondering, why are we even asking for the government's permission to get married? There's a third option emerging that makes a lot of sense to us. Why don't we privatize marriage? Instead of asking for the government's permission to get married, we take marriage away from the government. Regardless of who wins in this same-sex marriage battle, there will be a large number of Americans who are unhappy. That is inevitable. There will be many people unhappy because they want marriage defined in what they believe. So if it's privatized, they get to do that. Everybody gets to decide what marriage means for them. Every religious institution, everybody. So what's the problem?
It is kind of a complicated thing, and it's a weird thing to understand when there's something that the government has been part of for so long, to try to wrap your mind around how it would exist without the government. But really, for a long time in America, it did exist without the government. In fact, the first president of the United States of America, George Washington, was married outside of federal or state jurisdiction. So it's pretty interesting to think about. And a lot of the critics to this line of thinking say things like, well, what about legal benefits to marriage, or what about legal protections to marriage? As far as benefits go, I think that maybe people should marry each other because they love each other, not because they're going to get a tax break or something like that. As far as legal protections, if somebody is to be divorced or if somebody dies and what to do with the property and all that stuff, I admit that would be more complicated. It would be a little bit more chaotic, but you got to look at the alternatives here. In one situation, you have people that really isn't completely free and a little bit more convenient of a legal process. And I really do just mean a little more convenient of a legal process. I mean, divorce isn't easy right now. It's not easy on anybody. Then the alternative would be really a free people who can define it in their own way, do whatever they like with their lives. And yeah, a little bit more complicated of a legal process, but all that stuff would be worked out, and there would be solutions to all of those problems.
Also, another point that opponents to this line of thinking have is that this is very radical. Most people wouldn't have even thought of this, and so there's a larger number of people to convince than either camp currently has to convince, so that they have the slight majority. And I agree with that. That is definitely true. This is a more uphill battle. It is less likely to happen in a lot of ways, but I think it's the better solution. If we're going to put any effort into the marriage battle, why not put effort into the best solution for everyone in America instead of forcing half of America to prescribe to a belief system that they don't believe in?
And remember, regardless of who wins the current debate, since there's really only two sides going back and forth, if the government has the power to give, then the government also has the power to take away, or to change, or to redefine, or to manipulate.
So anyway, thank you for watching, and we'd love to hear your comments. Please post below. We'd like to respond to a follow-up video maybe, so if you have opinions, if you'd like to talk about it, please let us know.
Thank you very much.